Yeah, just doing the final parts of adding grass. So flooded the area with PVA where I want it to go, so a static grass around there, around the turntable, and start adding more weather effects, more details and fencing and stuff to the turntable area. So I'm just going to static that up now. Doing a bit of a mixture of gravel and grass. Gravel and grass, somewhat different. See, eventually it will look like that. Look, when you put in static grass on it, it looks rubbish. When it's like that, it just looks crap, but when all the white dries out, it looks alright. You hoover up all the excess and try and recycle it in a clean hoover bag or whatever. And it looks alright. Look, that looks rubbish at the moment, but when it dries out, it'll be fine, it'll all blend in. And I'll just add a fence up there. Got a little bit of a path going across there. And I can just blend in all the rest of it. When you're putting PVA down, especially if you've got surface mounted points like me, it's caused problems here. It's got underneath. It's rusted all the bottom there and it needs hacking. All that rust needs taken out. Because on the Fleischmann points especially, it can interfere with the mechanisms if the PVA seeps in. As you can see, that blade isn't moving, which means that point has got to come out and completely be serviced, or I may have to take it apart. It's just about moving. It's PVA have gotten in the mechanism somewhere around here and here where the blades mechanism moves. Yeah, this point has been a real pain. I'm trying not to take it out, but I've cleaned it out best I can with it being installed. Put the motor back and let's go to the point. Just bear with me and I'll just go straight to the point. Turntable. See, it works, but won't go back unless I tap it. Yeah, there's a little bit of grit or something somewhere. Closes, but won't open. In the Fleischmann point motors, there's a little tiny slot about, it's hard to say, to point it out actually, let's try my best. There's a tiny slot right where this, like a slim bar is here. There's a slot either side there, on the lower section, either side. If that gets gunged up with any slight amount of PVA, then the point won't operate correctly. I don't know if you can see a slight gap. It's really hard to see. But yeah, if you clean it out with a very small blade, about where that tiny slim bar is, because that operates left and right there, and it needs to be a gap about here, that's got to be free. If you clean that out either side, and then it should work. It's nearly working, not quite. Also, believe it or not, trap magic has worked again by just applying drops where this blade slides around in the mechanism around there and freeing it. just moving it around in neutral mode like that is freed up the tiny little bit of PVA or grit, so it works. It's just a word of warning really if you're using PVA, which if you're new to ballasting, I don't really use ballast. It's just ballast between the tracks and around grass around the track, because my track's pre-ballasted. But it is, you've got to be really careful, otherwise it can really mess up expensive track work. Yeah, as you can see, that looks a bit better now the grass is dried out. You can just blend in and drop some, spray some wet over that, or just obviously put some PVA over there, or just leave it loose. Got a bit of gravel mixed in with the grass. But what I am doing at the moment is I'm isolating 3 sections of the turntable track. So as you can see, negative, positive. And basically, you've got to add, on each turntable exit you want to supply power to continuously at any time, regardless of where the turntable bridge is. Might not be lined up. Got to put 2 plastic insulating joiners in. Then obviously I'm going to fit that into here now, like that. That's it. Obviously the beauty of this flexible track here is I can do it without taking the track up. Just slide that across, line it up like that, and there you go, that's it. That's it. Yeah, so there's a negative and positive. Got the isolation sections at the top end, everything's in place. And those wires will feed into the main lines, or in my case, I'll be tying all this wiring up, but they'll go into a block connector and then go into the input of the reverse module. That's where I'm taking the power from. So basically it means, even though the bridge is not lined up with this particular track, if we put something on there, it should power up. There we go. That's powered up and standby. Lights a whole lot, even though the bridge is not lined up. So when the bridge lines up with it, it's got the isolation fish plates in. There's not going to be any short. I'll just give it a test now anyway, just to make sure. I've just done a 360 on that. I'll just bring it out, make sure everything's working alright. No problems there. Yeah, so that one is wired up now. Put the buffer stop back. Just need to put a bit more, tidy all that gravel up a bit, a brush and whatever. The grass is looking a lot better than what it was a couple of days ago. We've got independent siding now off the turntable, which is working, even though the turntable's misaligned. Right, anyway, so I've got all my 2, 4, 6 sets of cables coming from 3 tracks. They're all isolated now, so I can run stuff on the side independently from the turntable. The wiring is quite tidy. Just goes like that, and then just goes straight to the input of the reverse module. But I do recommend tinning the ends of wire, soldering the ends of wire, twist them around and solder them up, and you get a better connection. Another tip, use a magnetizer to magnetise your screwdrivers. Alright, just push it through.